forward to action now from our Global Touring Cars and GTC Super Cup as they make their way out to the circuit in a few minutes' time. We'll be catching up with some of the drivers yesterday in the pre-race press conferences to find out what the plans are for today in the penultimate round of Global Touring Cars and GTC Super Cup. Let's head down into our pre-race interviews.
Global Touring Cars press conference before the penultimate race of the season. Michael van Rooyen, start with you, sir. A big target on your back. What you going to do about it?
I think Rob is actually the one with the target on his back. I'm the one chasing this weekend. So, yeah, we've got some points to catch up with, and there's only one way of doing that, and that's to win races. So that's our only objective. It doesn't really change much from the rest of the season, but it's just more important this weekend, and stay out of trouble and score some big points, that's all.
The target I was talking about, of course, is what Temple is going to be doing to you. So, Scotty, take us through what your plans are to try and keep Michael away from your teammate.
Yeah, look, we also have our own race to do as well, you know. So we got Lee close behind us, and obviously Julian right on his heels. So you know, it obviously is a little bit difficult in that sense that we also need the points, you know. So I think you can obviously plan as much as you want, but at the end of the day, the race is going to happen as it's going to happen. Especially at Zwartkops, the racing is always tight and close, and you know there's plenty of overtaking opportunities and vice versa, defending opportunities. So, yeah, look, as I say, we're happy to sort of have had a decentish season, and we keep pushing, you know.
Across to Lee, so far so good for the weekend, topping the sheets in the first practice session, and the BMW has certainly come a long way. But as you sort of always tend to intimate to. It's a couple of years of development that the team has still got to get into that car to fight with these two boys.
Yeah, look, we still learning every day, and like Scott mentioned, myself and him still have a little bit of a battle to finish third in the championship. Obviously, it was going well at the last race before the car caught fire, which caused us a lot of work, but luckily, you know, we're racing at Zwartkops, our home track for sure, but I'm sure Michael's as well. So we did some testing. Second session went well, but then now we still developed another issue, sorted out. So let's hope it doesn't poke its neck out again.
Well, there's a little bit of a good luck charm, I think, for tomorrow as well, as you know. With the 1 year birthday of your little one, maybe that'll be exactly what you need. Yeah,
let's get that thing sorted out so I can give him his other birthday present.
On track now for Global Touring Cars and the GTC Super Cup. Great to see a nice field of Super Cup category competitors, and it keeps growing every single time we go racing. Nick Davidson makes a welcome return. Johan de Bruin, Darby van der Merwe, Nicky Dix, Arno Besaidenout, all fighting hard for honours in the Global Touring Car Super Cup class. Look out for a big battle at the front end as well, with GTC still up for grabs. It's not quite done and dusted yet. Robert Volk has got the championship lead, but as you heard from his closest rivals there, Michael van Rooyen and his teammate Scott Temple, the fight is still on. And then of course there's still a fight there for third place between Temple and Lee Thompson, our pole man. Didn't quite go according to plan for Jeff Kruger for Team Red Racing. He's had some disappointment in the qualifying. He was expecting to be in the top 3, possibly in the top 2, and dropped down to 5th place in qualifying. So a bit of work to do there for Team Red Racing's Jeff Kruger. He's behind Keegan Campos. He's got to find a way through on Sawad Variawa as well. And it's Jonathan Mccarthy who actually set the pace in qualifying ahead of the Sparko car of Brad Liebenberg. Lee Thompson on pole. He'll be looking to take on that big field. We've got some fighting expected there between GTCs and the GTC Super Cup classes. Quicker cars in the GTCs will get away, possibly catch the back end of the Super Cup class. And vice versa, the faster Super Cup cars might catch the back end of the GTC category. So expect a bit of a mix there as we're about to get in and underway. Let's have a quick look down on the grid though. Lee Thompson. Oh, there's 2,500 Rand towards Leo's first birthday present. Happy birthday to Leo. And he'll be a happy man about that. Eventually getting that pole position. He's taken a win already in the BMW, but it wasn't from pole. He's now got pole position. And I think Leo will be happy with that. And looking forward to, of course, doing battle now with the InvestChem Chemical Logistics Toyotas, the Toyota Gazoo Racing machines of Michael van Rooyen and Mandla Mccarthy, and that Ford Focus of Julian van der Walt. Heading down to the Super Cup as well. Jonathan Mccarthy will be climbing out that car to receive his 2,500 Rand, courtesy of Dunlop tyres. Our Dunlop shod cars. An additional bit of ammunition for the pole position given to our top runners in both GTC and GTC Super Cup. Jonathan Mccarthy, there he is. Man has got an incredible story when it comes to motorsport. Came from a PlayStation background and eventually won out the driver search for Volkswagen Motorsport and has now become one of their top pilots in the Volkswagen Motorsport stable. So here we go for the warm-up procedure. I'll be behind the pace car from Toyota. That's Pretoria No Toyota, the Toyota 86. Long-standing relationship there between Pretoria No Toyota and the Zwartkops Raceway. Grid being cleared. And we're about to go racing. Penultimate round of this championship. 2 races today. 2 races at the Kyalami 9 hour to sort out the final points in that big field of Super Cup cars. Masters battle in that one as well. At this stage being led out by Nick Davidson. He got the pole position in terms of the Masters, but it was 7th overall that he sat in. And he's just ahead there of Nicky Dix and Team Perfect Circle's Andre Besaidenote. Lee Thompson leads them off down into turn 1. He'd be pretty happy if that's the kind of start he gets in the actual start from the rolling start that they're on now. Mccarthy from Liebenberg. Campos ahead of Variawa. Happy birthday to Roy as well. Of course, he's not here. He'll be on the sidelines supporting both Jason and Keegan. A big happy birthday from all of us in the broadcast team here to Roy Campos, who was originally at the wheel of that Campos Transport Polo GTI Super Cup car that his son now pilots. Thompson not too worried about weaving too much. He's pretty happy with the heat in that rubber. But lots of weaving from the Toyotas and the Ford. Big weaving from Mccarthy and Liebenberg. Campos, not so much from Variawa. Jeff Kruger and Jason Campos. Big welcome to Donnie van Niekerk, who joins us from Cape Town in the Wingfield sponsored car. Nick Davidson, Johan de Bruin, Andre Besaidenote, Davy Olivier. And a good start here from these guys as expected. What you will see, of course, is a split start between GTC and GTC Super Cup. Jonathan will be hanging back a little bit, just giving a little bit of a gap there to the back end of GTC to let them get away. And then once they get away, second start of the proceedings will go to Mccarthy to lead things out for the Super Cup class. Lee Thompson and Volk. Front row. Watch out for Michael van Rooyen. Side by side. And now we go towards the start line. Lights are on, waiting for them to go. And lights out, we go down in towards turn 1. Good start from Lee Thompson, but it's a great start from Volk. He's on the inside line. Looks like he might have got the drop over Thompson. Standing by for the start of Super Cup just behind that. It is Robert Volk who's got ahead of Lee Thompson. Lee Thompson trying to try around the outside in the M2 BMW, but the Toyota Corolla leads it out. And look at the pressure coming from Volk's teammate, Scott Temple, as he just puts himself between the BMW and, of course, the hard-charging Michael van Rooyen trying to get through there. And Mccarthy trying to find a way through just in the background to try and find a way past on the Ford ST Focus as they come under braking, and Mccarthy has a big look, but Van der Walt shuts the door. Mid-pack there is Team Perfect Circles on the Besaidnout. He sits in 3rd place in the Masters, but the front end, it's about Mccarthy versus Liebenberg. Mccarthy's got the inside line into turn 4. He gets up into the lead. Here comes Davidson diving through on Variawa. Nico Davidson late braking. Variawa runs wide onto the dirty stuff, and I think he's taken someone else as well. Yes, Donnie van Niekerk, by the looks of things, having to go wide and out of harm's way. Dropping right to the back of the field and getting a baptism of fire into Super Cup. His first race in anger, and turn 4, he's on the kiddie litter and at the back of the field. Volk, Thompson, Temple. That's how they cross the line for the first time now as they head into turn 1 on the second time of asking of this 12-lapper. Mccarthy's under massive pressure. The two Campos boys are right there on his tail, looking for opportunities to squeeze through there on the hard charge that came out of the Sparko car of Liebenberg off the start. He wasn't able to get through on Jonathan Mccarthy, but he certainly is looking for a chance now. Looking around the high side of turn 2. Keegan Campos goes on his inside. The door is opened up by Brad. Is there enough room there for Campos to squeeze through? No, not enough. He had a big look there, but Campos might just use a push to pass now to get through. Now they come onto that back straight away now. Change up for the Masters class as well. Looks like Davy Olivier has hit the front of that one. And no, in fact, it's Johan de Bruin in the Odacure car. De Bruin leads out over Nick Davidson. Team Perfect Circles on the Besaidnout. And beside Besaidnout, you can see a little bit of a maneuver happening there from Davy Olivier. He's moved up to 4th. Battle for second now, heating up. Campos looking for a way through there on Liebenberg. Liebenberg just hanging on to the back end of Mccarthy. It's Keegan from Jason. Jason's got Jeff Kruger on his tail. Team Red Racing's lone man out there fighting with the two Campos boys, trying to find a way through on them. The top 5 getting away ever so slightly there from Johan de Bruin, who leads out the Masters class and sits in 6th. 7th place is Nick Davidson. Behind that it is Andre Besaidnout, of course, celebrating his mom's birthday, his late mom's birthday today, and flying the flag high there for one of his sponsors in the Bertha wine side of things. So Omar Bato, we hope that you're enjoying all the race action that your son's bringing you here, sitting in 3rd place in the Masters, 7th overall, in fact 8th overall on track in Super Cup. Kruger on the back end looking for a way past, but Jason Campos is keeping him very, very honest, going defensive at almost every opportunity to keep out Kruger. Here they come towards turn 4. Mccarthy from Liebenberg. Campos, and then Kruger. Oh, some battle scars. Have we had a touch between the BMW and Volk? It looks like we might have. The BMW seems to be okay. Doesn't seem to be too much damage on that M2 of Lee Thompson's, but there's certainly a bumper flying off the back of that first Toyota Corolla, and in fact it's gone off the car completely. It's now in the middle of the circuit somewhere, and possibly going to be caught out by some of these Super Cup cars coming through. The Super Cup competitors are about to make their way down there. The back end of that Toyota Corolla is completely off Robert Volk's car. So Volk might have had a little bit of a tap, or maybe he went off circuit. Not quite sure what went wrong there, but there's certainly some battle scars on the back end of Volk's Toyota Corolla. Investchem Chemical Logistics car still leading things out. Thompson in 2nd, looking for a home track win here. His stable, of course, is just on the left-hand side as we go up the hill here past all the spectators. You'll see Team Red Racing just on the left-hand side there, and the Universal Motorsport stable where that BMW is prepped. So home track advantage for both of these cars. Remember, WCT just around the corner here at Zwartkops as well. So Lee Thompson now trying to find a way through there on Volk. Hasn't found it just yet, but Volk is going defensive at every opportunity, not giving Lee Thompson even the lightest whiff of that first place. Temple hangs on ahead of Michael van Rooyen. Van Rooyen defending on the attack coming from the auto zone forward. And that auto zone forward in the hands of Julian van der Walt. Manda Ndakani at the back end at the moment for the second of the Team Gazoo Racing Toyotas. Oh, what a bit of late outbreaking there from Van der Walt. Can he make it stick? He goes late on the brakes, but Van Rooyen comes straight back at him. There's going to be a little lock of tyres there. Oh, just enough room given. But it's Van Rooyen who's on the inside line for turn 4, so he should be able to hang on and get the drive onto the straight. He does. Van Rooyen fighting hard here with the auto zone forward. And Julian van der Walt can't find a way past on him. He had a look into turn 2. It was a little bit late and too deep on the brakes Van Rooyen goes defensive up towards turn 5. Late braking from Van der Walt goes on the outside, tries to cut back on that apex. Is he going to be able to make it thick on the squirt? No, he doesn't. Because Van Rooyen sees him, cuts the nose off that Ford completely. Not giving any room here to Van der Walt, but what's happening is allowing Temple to get away, and Van Rooyen is losing opportunities to get valuable championship points. The Ford pressure on the back end of that Toyota Gazoo Racing Toyota Corolla is certainly helping both Temple and his teammate Robert Volk at the front end to take away points from Michael Van Rooyen. You heard from Van Rooyen, he was the man who has to try and catch things out here and possibly win overall to stay in the hunt for this championship. However, that is not happening right now. You can see how difficult it is here for Van Rooyen to keep out Van der Walt. And Van der Walt has got through. Van der Walt has secured that 4th place, dropping the 2 Gazoo Toyotas to the back of the field for our action here from the Extreme Festival and Global Touring Cars. Now on the brakes, Van der Walt is able to keep out the 2 Toyota Corollas from Team Gazoo Racing. Van Rooyen will be kicking himself for allowing the Ford through. He's dropped back down to 5th. He's losing valuable championship points here to both of those WCT and Chemical Logistics Toyota Corollas. More importantly, the one that's out front, Robert Volk. Speaking of out front, here's a possibility of a change-up. Push to pass being played here by Jonathan Mccarthy. He had to use it. Brad Liebenberg was lining things up, and Mccarthy went to the push to pass. That's why the indicators came on, the hazard lights. And that push to pass allowed him to stay ahead of Liebenberg. Wonder how many Liebenberg still got left in that sleeve of his to use under the push to pass mechanisms. Campos right behind him. Jason Campos still keeping out Jeff Kruger for the top 5. And Johan de Bruin just in the background there, still leading things out in the Masters, 6th place overall on track. So it's Mccarthy from Liebenberg. Campos in 3rd spot, but not quite able to run with the same kind of pace. He's about half a car length off the top 2. He's good on the brakes though, and he shuts that half a car length down under braking. And now looks to try and attack on Liebenberg. Campos squared, and the second one there is Jason trying to fend off Jeff Kruger's attack. Odacure cars, Johan de Bruin leading out the Masters. He's just ahead there of Nick Davidson. Besaidnote continues to stay in 3rd place. Oh! We got Liebenberg at the front. Liebenberg's at the front, and Mccarthy with a bit of problem. Look at that, some smoke on the side. He's had a little tap from someone. He goes to push to pass up the hill. Mccarthy going to try and use that push to pass to get through and take the lead again from Brad Liebenberg. He's late on the brakes, but Liebenberg shuts the door. Mccarthy tucks in. There's a tag again. Mccarthy and Campos coming together for the 2nd time. There's a bit of tyre rub on that bodywork. Some white smoke coming off the back left there, and that's just tyre rubbing on the bodywork there of that GTI Super Cup Polo of Jonathan Mccarthy's. And Mccarthy now in a huge fight for 2nd. He's lost the ground and the advantage to Brad Liebenberg, and Liebenberg's going to try and use the clear air to get away from them. Is there any chance that Team Red Racing's Jeff Kruger could possibly get into the mix? Jason Campos wants some as well. He's late on the brakes and closes on his brother. Keegan and Jay right on the tail of Mccarthy now, and they've brought Kruger along for the ride. Big fight here with the Super Cup class. As I said, Global Touring Cars will catch the back end of our Super Cup category, and that's exactly what they've done. Coming hauling through there and putting a Super Cup Polo between himself and Lee Thompson. Robert Volk doing it all right. They come under braking for turn 2. Volk has got a slight advantage. Will Lee Thompson get through there? Back to the top of the hill, and Mccarthy under pressure from Campos. Campos side by side with him as they headed to the top. Mccarthy runs wide, comes back at Campos. Campos going to try and get on the inside of turn 6. He's there, he's squeezing Mccarthy. He's looking for opportunities. Mccarthy going to run wide again out of 7. Watch for Campos diving on the inside. No, Mccarthy sees him coming. Goes defensive, here comes Campos. Campos late on the brakes into turn 8. He's side by side there. Absolutely, there goes the Toyota's bumper. Eventually somebody hits it. I was waiting for one of those cars to hit it. Blue flags? No, it's not blue flag time. This is for position. Heading into turn 1. Brilliant stuff here. Mccarthy fending off both of the Campos cars. Here comes Kruger. Kruger sees an opportunity. Dives up the inside of Jason Campos. Going with Keegan. Going to use that inside line with Keegan Campos. Can he square it off? Yes, he can. Keegan Campos side by side with Mccarthy as they get onto the back straight. Jeff Kruger side by side with Jason Campos. Similar maneuvers there from Campos and Kruger. Keegan Campos, that is, and Kruger. Ooh, a little touch there between Mccarthy and Campos again. This is brilliant stuff in Super Cup. Magnificent race to the top of the hill. This is Campos now getting to the front end. Jason Campos goes defensive. Here comes Mccarthy on the brakes. Keegan going to be late. No, Jonathan's even later. How did Jonathan Mccarthy find a way onto two wheels? Onto two wheels coming out of turn 5. Mccarthy squeezes him back out and gets back into second place. This is top class, world class action once again from Super Cup. And the GTC boys are going to be very happy with this performance. I can tell you this is where Jeff Kruger could capitalize on Jason Campos. Not quite close enough. Campos needs to run wide here. That's exactly what Jeff is hoping, and he does. Campos runs wide. Kruger's on the inside line for turn number 1 now as they cross the line and complete another lap. Is he able to get through there? He's got to get through and pass Campos before they square it up there for turn 2. Jason Campos comes back at him into turn 2. Inside line was the outside for turn 1, becomes inside for turn 2. And the square off now from Kruger, forcing Campos to go a little bit later into turn number 2. And that might be enough there for Jeff Kruger to come back at Jason Campos. They come up towards turn 4. Jason Campos is late, but Kruger's later. They are wing mirror to wing mirror. Wing to wing coming out of turn 4 up towards the top of the hill again. Watching Keegan get away. No issues at all for Brad Liebenberg. He's now been able to secure that first place with this huge fight that's ensued between these 4 cars for second. Kruger eventually gets through, but Jason Campos comes straight back at him. Campos going to try and find that outside line. Kruger knows he's going to go for the outside line, so he squeezes him out, just moving the Team Red car across ever so slightly, and he now secures 4th place. Is there enough time for him to close down on Keegan Campos and get onto the podium? Keegan Campos has lost a little bit of ground there to Mccarthy after a little bit of an incident, and of course some rubbing between those 2 cars, but Mccarthy has been absolutely brilliant on the brakes. Some of the best driving I've seen out of Jonathan Mccarthy in a long, long time. He sits in 2nd place now, and he's now looking for a chance possibly to spoil the day there for the rest of this field. Volk crosses the line. He's now in the mix there with Nicky Dix and Lee Thompson still behind him. So Robert Volk still maintaining the lead out front with a lap to go. Robert Volk, Chemical Logistics, and the InvestChem WCT Toyota team ahead of Team Red Racing's BMW M2. Nicky Dix in the Corvette air conditioning and fire machine. He moves up into, of course, a possibility of a top 5 in the Masters class, but he's got all of these GTC competitors all over him right now. Volk heads up, closing down on Sam Hammond. Sam Hammond in the Trinity Protection Services machine, about to be caught and passed by Robert Volk on the final lap now. As they come up on the braking point, there you go, Hammond giving a little bit of room there to Volk, just enough for him to get through. Volk gets through, Lee Thompson doesn't. Thompson was hoping to try and use these back markers to his advantage. It hasn't quite worked out for him. As they head down to the bottom of the hill for the last time, it's going to be Robert Volk for race 1 win, extending his lead in the championship. Lee Thompson closing things down for 2nd place with Scott Temple. And Michael van Rooyen, of course, so far back is going to be losing valuable championship points. It's Robert Volk who takes the victory. Lee Thompson in 2nd. Great race action there from our global touring cars. Temple finishes up just ahead there of Julian van der Walt, and Michael van Rooyen will be just behind him. Mandla Nakani, the final car for GTC, is coming through there. He will finish up across the line just ahead of the 101 car of Stefan Schneider's. Back to the lead of GTC Super Cup, and it's Brad Liebenberg in the Sparko machine. He'll be heading down the hill. Ooh, and someone's run wide. Is that Mccarthy? No, it's not. Once again, Donnie van Niekerk, the stunt driver. 2nd time he's been off there in turn 4. So it's Liebenberg from Mccarthy. Liebenberg going to be taking the checkered flag for Super Cup. He wins things out over Jonathan Mccarthy, but what an epic fight there for 2nd between Mccarthy, Campos, and looks like, yes, Kruger's got through and maintained that lead ahead of Jason Campos. He'll be down in 4th place overall for Super Cup, beating Jason Campos. The Odacure Polo GTI will be the leader and winner of Masters, and that's, of course, Johan de Bruin, Nick Davidson, and Honor Besaidenote comes through for 3rd place there in the Masters class, just beating out his good friend from Cape Town, Davy Jabert. Donnie van Niekerk, baptism of fire, twice off at turn 4 there for the Wingfield Motors machine. He finishes up in 18th place overall. So there's confirmation. Volk from Thompson, Temple, Julian van der Walt, Michael van Rooyen and Ndakani, your top 6 in global touring cars, with Brad Liebenberg ahead of Mccarthy. Keegan Campos, Jeff Kruger, Jason Campos, your top 5 in GTC Super Cup. And the Masters, it's that man, Odacure's Johan de Bruin beating out Nick Davidson. And then a great drive from Team Perfect Circle's Andre Besaidenote to bring the Masters class to a close for race 1 of Global Touring Cars and GTC Super Cup. After that spectacular first race of GTCs, let's catch up now with race 1 winner, Robert Volk.
Robert Volk, talk me through that race. Once you got out front, you just made it look so easy. Yeah, we had a really good start. Obviously, it's a bit tight in the first corner, but just managed to have that little inch or two. And yeah, we thankfully thought we had good race pace. We never sure in terms of the heat, but our team did a great job. The car felt great during the race. I think we were able to push all the way to the end. Traffic got in the way, which I think minimised our gap quite a bit. But yeah, it's awesome to come away with the win. It's been a while in terms of a race 1 win. So yeah, it's a good points for the championship, and looking forward to race 2.
And from Global Touring Cars, let's go to the GTC Super Cup. Let's catch up now with second place, Jonathan Mccarthy.
Jonathan Mccarthy, looks like you were actually driving a VW Touareg there.
The race was incredibly tough off of that. Oh my goodness, I just spoke myself. That race was incredibly tough. It was a little bit too argy-budgy, but I kind of expected it. Well done to Brad. Second race, I'm going to come back and clap back stronger.
Awesome job, well done.
Thank you.
In a few minutes' time, we'll get Global Touring Cars back on track for their second heat of the day and penultimate round of this championship for Global Touring Cars and the Super Cup class. We managed to catch up with some of the Super Cup drivers and the Masters in the Super Cup just before our race day today. Let's get down into that pre-race press conference.
Super Cup pre-race press conference starting with Jeff Kruger. Jeff, some work to do this weekend. Got to try and close that gap down on Bradley.
Yeah, for sure. That's the main goal for the remainder of the races this year. Trailing by quite a bigger margin than we would have liked, obviously. But it's been a very up and down season. It started off quite well, and then unfortunately P was the real setback for us when we had a mechanical issue. But yeah, nonetheless, motorsport is, as we know, unpredictable. So anything can still happen towards the end of the season. So our job is just to score maximum points that we can and try to take it to Jono and Brad. So I think the fight is definitely going to be on, and for sure looking forward to it.
Well, Jono, you can hear those words are fighting words. Let's hear from you. What your plans are for the weekend?
Listen, man, I think my plans for the weekend is just to get stuck in, keep my head down, try and maximize as many points as possible, because at this stage of the game, I think it's still anybody's championship. 7 points between Brad and I, 13 between us. So really not much in it. Look, we've got a bit of work to do, but we think that we've got a solid package for the weekend. So yeah, man, I'm just going to try my best and hopefully qualify up there and box if I need to.
A little rose amongst the thorns there, coming in right at the last minute. Donnie Finnicker, great to have you part of Super Cup, buddy. I know you've been looking forward to getting into this car. Wingfield behind you and a couple of Cape Town-based sponsors jumping in to give you the opportunity to do the last 2 rounds, but then hopefully full-time next year.
Yeah, we're going to try if we can get a proper sponsors and with us, and then we'll definitely be there. I would love to do it. Yeah, I don't have so much pressure like these two now for the last race of the season. I'm just having fun here and finding my feet, and yeah.
It is a really cool category to be involved in, and I'm sure that you're looking forward to the challenge.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yes, these cars are unbelievable to drive. Yeah, and then I get some data from the guys and so on, and we compare it, and I love it.
Super Cup Masters pre-race conference. Nick missed last round, so a little bit of work to do this weekend to catch up.
Yeah, we seem to be battling today. I mean, we're at the back of the grid. We've had 2 practice sessions, and yeah, something's wrong. But hopefully we will get there for qualifying. We've got 1 more session left, and we're busy trying different things. Also, I suppose coming from PE, not used to this track, but a bit disappointing.
Yeah, but still enough time to sort it out.
Yeah. Maybe I'm sure 50% of it is me as well.
Okay.
But yeah, hopefully we'll get there.
Awesome stuff. Nicky Dix.
Nicky Dix.
You asked for a very difficult question, so we're going to ask you that. Take us through the inside of a Curvent air conditioner.
Air conditioner.
Yeah.
We actually do fire ventilations.
There you go, same thing. No, but more importantly is you've joined the series, and things have gone well so far in terms of your first couple of outings.
Well, I wouldn't say well. The first race was in East London, was a rookie race, crashed into Johan de Bruin. Felt sorry about that and had to continue. And Red Star was Gymkhana, but it was nice, we enjoyed it. And now I think we have more track confidence in here than that Nick has got. But we're still learning the car. It's different than any other car that I've ever driven.
But certainly one that you're enjoying.
Yeah, very much.
Sam, I think you're also enjoying as much as these two as well, but also a bit of a tough start to it, but slowly but surely making your way to the front end.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever driven a front-wheel drive, and it's been a huge transition. They're awesome cars, really great to drive, and we're slowly but surely making our way through the field. But we hopefully will get there next year. We'll be more competitive.
Well, good luck for tomorrow, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now it is the penultimate asking and the second race of the day here for Global Touring Cars. Mandla Ndakani alongside his teammate on the front row. Team Gazoo Racing locking out that front row with a bit of a battle expected from behind, and expect to see some big action coming from the two WCT and Investchem Chemical Logistics Toyotas of Championship leader Robert Volk and Scott Temple. They're on the inside behind Michael van Rooyen, the man that of course is looking to close them down. Lee Thompson will be starting from 6th place in the Team Red Racing BMW M2. Sawad Variawa is on pole position there alongside Nick Davidson, winner of second in the first heat of the Masters class. Johan de Bruin is alongside him. Then it's Jeff Kruger and Jason Campos. You got Jonathan Mccarthy and Keegan Campos with Brad Liebenberg, and of course alongside him will be Andre Besaidenout for Team Perfect Circle. They make their way around behind the safety car now for a rolling start. And the second bit of race action about to kick off here for our penultimate round for some of the classes and final round for some of the classes of the Extreme Festival, the national championship categories here. That's the man on pole, Sawad Variawa for the Super Cup class. Young Carter, who basically jumped out of a kart straight into a Super Cup competitive car, has done some international duties on a few occasions as well for South Africa, and looking forward to possibly taking his first victory ever in a Super Cup class from that pole position. Heat into the Dunlops is pretty much a big requirement, and it's going to be some big action between Davidson and de Bruin for the win possibly in the Masters class of Super Cup. Campos, Kruger, Campos, Machotsi, Liebenberg, Besaidenout, Olivier, Fanikak, Hammond, Nicky Dix and Stefan Schneiders. That's how they line up at the back of the field there for the GTC Super Cup class. Starting to come into formation now. The Toyota 86 is about to peel off into pit lane and hand the duties to Mandla Ndakani to dictate the pace across the line. As I said, it's Gazoo Racing 1 and 2. Hopefully Mandla's going to play the team game here and allow his teammate to squeeze through and possibly get away. That's the whole plan here, but of course there's no team orders in that crew. You see Van der Walt is right there with Mandla Ndakani, so is Volk and Temple. Tucked in behind Michael van Rooyen. Lee Thompson trying to spoil the day for everybody as the lights go out. We go heading down towards turn 1. Good start there from Robert Volk, diving on the inside of Temple. Temple going to give him some room. Yes, he does. Just allows Temple to squeeze through. And Mandla Ndakani does not help out his teammate Michael van Rooyen. Ndakani gets the whole shot and van Rooyen tucks into second. 4x4 into turn 1. Could end up in tears for a couple of cars as they go through there in the Super Cup class. Variawa has already lost out to 1 position to Campos. Jason Campos leads out Keegan around the outside, losing 3 positions as he goes through turn 2. Being forced wide there by Nick Davidson. Davidson trying to keep out the intentions from Keegan Campos as they went into turn 2 and onto the little straight towards 3. Here comes a change up for the lead. Eventually Mandla Ndakani, I should say, has given Michael van Rooyen a chance to get through. Here comes Julian van der Walt opening up the door there for Robert Volk. The battle is on for GDCs. Battle is on big time here for Super Cup as Machotsi tries to go on the inside of Johan de Bruin. De Bruin is late on the brakes there, looking to try and squeeze up through ahead of Davidson for the lead of the Masters and 3rd overall on track for the GDC Super Cup. Temple now behind Van der Walt. And at the back of the field, Lee Thompson in the BMW for Universal Racing and Team Red Racing's BMW team. AutoZone Ford in 4th place. Trying to give Volk a little bit of assistance, but he's not quite in the position he needs to be. Ndakani is in the perfect position to keep out this pack and give Michael van Rooyen a chance to get away. Team game certainly starting to be played here in Global Touring Cars. We saw the door opened up from Scott Temple to allow Robert Volk through on the inside into turn 1. And then a little bit of maneuver to allow him up into 3rd place there from Van der Walt as well. So the WCT boys working together as a team, but it looks like Team Gazoo Racing doing a similar kind of maneuver here. Volk trying to get through. Opens up the door and slides past Mandla. He tried to fend him off, but just didn't have the same kind of pace as Volk had heading into turn 5. So now, championship contenders are 1 and 2 on track. The leader is in second. The man closest to him is in first. As they head back down the hill into G&H Transport Corner, it's game on. Here comes Temple. Temple on the inside of Van der Walt. He needs to get through because he realizes that Lee Thompson is starting to close him down. Forces Van der Walt into a slight mistake, and Van der Walt, by that mistake, allows Lee Thompson through. So it didn't quite work according to plan there for Scott Temple. He wanted to try and put Van der Walt between himself and Lee Thompson, but Thompson saw what he was trying to do and went with him. They're both now onto the back end of Mandla. Lee Thompson runs wide ever so slightly out of turn 2, allowing Van der Walt to come back at him. Van Rooyen leads out. Volk in second. Third place. Big battle between the 21 and 31 cars out there. 37 and 33 fighting for the back end of GTC. Up to the top of the hill they go. And it's Lee Thompson now fighting to try and get ahead of Scott Temple. That's the battle for third place in the championship, remember. First and second are first and second on the road, but just in reverse order in terms of their championship compared to what they are on track. Second place in the championship leads the race ahead of the championship leader, Robert Volk. Michael Van Rooyen, man out front for Team Gazoo Racing. Ndakani and Temple going at it. Putting a little wheel on the dirt there with Scott Temple. Dunlops are liking that. They certainly love the black stuff more than they like the dirty stuff. Although we have seen that they can go anyway. Temple on the inside of Ndakani. Puts a car between himself. Oh! Touch between Temple and Ndakani. Ndakani gave him absolutely no room to play, and this time it's Scott Temple's car that loses the back bumper. So the bumper being stripped off there after a maneuver where he came across on the nose of Ndakani. Ndakani just held his line, but it was Scott Temple who just ripped his own bumper off on Ndakani's nose cone. And the nose of that Toyota ripping the back end of the Toyota from the chemical logistics team off completely. Still a bit there to play with, and maybe there'll be a little bit more to go flying up. Could be deemed a bit dangerous, that little piece falling off the back of the car. Let's see whether or not the COC has anything to say about that as they head down towards the final corner again. So on to the braking point for turn 8. Ndakani trying to get back at Temple. Temple has got a little bit of breathing room now between himself and Lee Thompson. It's 2 cars there between Thompson and Temple. Third place in the championship up for grabs there between the two of them. Back to the front of Super Cup. Jason Campos, Jeff Kruger, Keegan Campos, Saud Variawa. Where is Brad Liebenberg? He's still behind Mccarthy. Mccarthy still in a bit of a fight there with Johan de Bruin. The master is showing the youngsters the way around here. And de Bruin is certainly using his experience around Zwartkops to very good effect here. He goes defensive into turn 2, keeps Mccarthy out. Hanging on to the front end of a very talented field of drivers is not always easy to do. And you can see that Mccarthy now under pressure from Brad Liebenberg, diving on the inside. Liebenberg trying to drive through, little touch between the two of them, coming onto the back straight. Right behind Johan de Bruin. De Bruin late on the brakes into 4, keeps out Mccarthy and Liebenberg, who stays side by side yet again through turn 4. Good slingshot drive there from Liebenberg. Mccarthy's going to try and go with him. He's got through on Johan de Bruin, or has he? De Bruin is late on the brakes. He's going to make Liebenberg work hard here. Mccarthy squeezes through. And just gets forced out, does Johan de Bruin. Saud Variawa coming along for the ride as well. Campos versus Kruger versus Campos versus Variawa. Slowly but surely they're starting to close in on the back end of this field, and it is Donnie van Niekerk now having a look on the inside of the Oudekirk car of Johan de Bruin. Nick Davidson in second place in the master side of things as Van Niekerk tries to squeeze through and go with the top contenders in the Cup class. Super Cup has been spectacular today. More of the same expected now in race 2. Mccarthy tries to get the drive now between 2 and 3 to close down on Liebenberg. Liebenberg's got a long way to go to catch Variawa up the road. There's the gap between Saud Variawa in 4th and Liebenberg in 5. He's had a little bit more time than what he expected there to be behind Jonathan Mccarthy and Johan de Bruin. Jeff Kruger in second at this point. Can he close down on Jason Campos? Campos will be looking for a victory. Keegan Campos would love to make it 1 and 2 for the Campos Racing team. But he's got to find a way through there on Team Red Racing's Jeff Kruger. come down onto the braking point once again into turn 8, GNH Transport Corner. Keegan Campos trying to close that gap down. There was a bit of a COC call between Campos and Mccarthy after that race 1 incident, the two of them getting up close and personal. Had to come and have a chat and explain themselves. This time though, he's all on his own in third. Can he try and find a way through here on Jeff Kruger to close that gap down first of all, and then try and find a way past him? Here we go, into that back straight away again. Up towards turn 4. Campos Jason ahead of Jeff Kruger. Campos Keegan ahead of Sawad Variawa. One of our youngest competitors in this class. Could actually be the youngest if I'm not mistaken. And fighting there with Mccarthy and Liebenberg, who are looking to close him down. Mccarthy running with similar lap times there to Brad Liebenberg, trying to match the Sparko car with the Volkswagen Motorsport machine to close down the Sawad Variawa car in 4th. Donnie van Niekerk now ahead of Johan de Bruin. Nick Davidson into 2nd in the Masters. Looks like Davy Olivier is in 3rd. So Olivier up in the 3rd spot now for the Masters side of things. Just looking in the background, is it Team Perfect Circles? Andre de Besaidenout in 4th it is. He's got Sam Hammond right on his tail, breathing down his neck, looking for a way through there. The Trinity Protection Services car all over the back of Team Perfect Circle and Motul sponsored machine of Andre Besaidenout. Wild Rose Gin Polo is slowly but surely getting onto the back end of Nick Davidson, and oh, nearly a touch. In fact, I think there was a little touch there between Davidson and de Bruin as they came under braking for turn 2. Back to the front, Michael van Rooyen controlling things. Exactly what he needs to do here. A win for Volk has to be matched with a win from Michael van Rooyen. But the gap is going to open up, because remember, Michael van Rooyen was not in 2nd by the time the flag came out in race 1. Certainly not what he wants, that is for sure. We'll have to wait and see exactly what's happened here in terms of the lap times. We'll try and go back onto race 1 to pick up the race action that's been happening here, of course, from the action on track. Bit of manoeuvring here from Lee Thompson too. Thompson looking to put the pressure onto the back end of the youngster in front of him, Julian van der Walt. The AutoZone Ford being caught now, hand over fist by that Universal Team Red Racing BMW M2. And is there a possibility that Thompson can move up, still stay in the hunt for what is going to be 2nd place in the championship with Temple and Van Rooyen. Volk in 2nd. I think Robert Volk realizes 2nd place might be okay. He will head into the final round at Kyalami on the 3rd and 4th of December at the Kyalami 9 Hour, and potentially still have a chance of taking the overall championship. Kruger in 2nd, being closed down rapidly by Keegan Campos. He's found something special here in the last couple of laps to bridge the gap there onto Team Red Racing's Jeff Kruger. He's bringing Sawad Variawa along for the ride. Is there enough laps in hand though? Michael van Rooyen, Volk, Temple, Van der Walt, Thompson, Manda Nakani, Campos, Kruger, Campos, Variawa. Super Cup, top 4. 5th place is Liebenberg. 6th at the moment is Mccarthy. Donnie van Niekerk in 7. De Bruin leads out the Masters ahead of Davidson and Jabert. Hammond now ahead of Andre Besaidenout. Schneiders and Dix at the back. Big gap between Jason Campos and Jeff Kruger. Sawad Variawa was our pole man. He's down to 4th. He'd love to get back on the podium. I'm sure he's going to try and give Keegan Campos a run here to the line. Campos is controlling things there from 3rd place, matching Jeff Kruger at almost every turn. And by doing that, he's closing him down. Variawa is just watching for any opportunities that may open up there between Campos and Kruger. Down onto the brakes again for Mccarthy as he looks to go with Brad Liebenberg. Liebenberg hasn't had an answer. Brad's pushed hard, but it was too far back, I think too far away, with not enough laps in hand to close that gap down to the first 4. He's done an admirable job to get almost within breathing space of them. We're not quite there yet. Van Rooyen to the line. Is that 2 laps to go, Paul? 4 laps to go, beg your pardon, 4 laps to go. Just getting confirmation because the timing has gone down on my side. Oh, it's a 15 lap at this time, beg your pardon, yeah, so it's a 4 lap still to go in this one. Sorry, Paul, I'm going to ask you for that timing because I don't have it here on my iPad, or your iPad, because it's not coming through at all, and I've tried it on both Speed Hive and on Race Monitor. Just getting nothing at all. Pass it over to you. So we've got Van Rooyen, Volk, Temple, Thompson, Van der Walt and Mccarthy. I don't think there's going to be any changes between them. As we get up to the top of the hill, though, there is a bit of manoeuvring happening there with Temple. Temple is definitely in with a bit of a shout to close things down on Volk. Don't think he'll pass Robert Volk because he knows that the championship's up for grabs. He'll play the team game. Van der Walt tried to play it earlier on to keep out Thompson, but wasn't able to quite do that. But there's certainly a move happening here from Scott Temple's point of view. He's fastest at the moment. And now looking to just change things around here ever so slightly. Mccarthy just maintaining where he is at the stage. No issues for him. It's certainly in with a shot here as they're coming amongst the back markers. Are the back markers going to play a game here? Will Lee Thompson be able to capitalize on those back markers and just catch up on the 2 Toyotas in front of him? Let's see, wait and see here. Fastest man on track at the moment is Scott Temple, as I expected. 104.454 from Temple. He's closed the gap down rapidly onto Robert Volk. Volk will basically be sitting there in second place going, okay, let's just keep it like this if we can. But back markers are definitely going to help out here. Hindered slightly there is Lee Thompson by Nicky Dix as he comes up on the back end there of the Curvent car. Eventually gets through into turn 1. Finds a way past and now tries to catch up onto the back end of those 2 Toyotas who might just be hindered slightly by the car that they've caught up onto into turn 2. So as they come across and into turn 3, we go back to the front as Keegan Campos closes down on Jeff Kruger. Second place at this stage, still up for grabs between Campos and Kruger. Keegan, as I said, would love to make it a 1-2 there, particularly on Roy's birthday. It is Roy Campos' birthday today, so I'm sure that both those boys will be fighting hard for a 1-2 to give Dad a really special birthday present. But Jeff Kruger might not be up for that game. Let's see what happens now into the closing stages. Jason Campos leading out just ahead of these 2. This is second place that we're watching. There is Campos leading the gap. Look at the gap he's got over Jeff Kruger and his brother Keegan. Jason's hit the front and has just controlled things all the way through this 15-lapper. Heading to the top of the hill. Back to Temple and Volk, 2 teammates. Now with pressure from Lee Thompson. Schneider's definitely in with a bit of an issue. Van Rooyen leads out at this point in time. Mccarthy, his teammate. There he is. In amongst the back markers is Michael Van Rooyen. He's got through on Hammond and Besaidnout. He's onto the back end now of Davidson. Davidson not too far off the back, by the looks of things, of Donnie van Niekerk. Coming up under braking. Can he go on the inside of Davidson? Davidson sees him coming, gives him some room. Allows the Toyota through. They're going to run with him to try and close that gap. It's not a bad plan to do. Nick Davidson going to use the maybe a little bit of slip there to help him get up and bridge that gap back to Davy Olivier. Olivier's up to second behind Johan de Bruin. So de Bruin, Olivier, Davidson is the masters as the checkered flag comes out for Michael Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen wins out. Volk in second, controls the championship from that second spot. His teammate Temple putting himself between Volk and Lee Thompson as the flag came out. And then it was Van der Walt and Mccarthy coming through. Going back to GTC Super Cup now, looking for Jason Campos to come to the line. Campos will be the man as Andre Besaidnout takes the checkered flag. He'll be 4th place in the Masters. Here comes Jason Campos through Kenwood. Double right-hander, flick it through to the left. He's got a big margin over Jeff Kruger, but Kruger's looking to hang on for second. Oh, we're going to see Keegan Campos have a go here at Jeff. Is he close enough? No, he's not. Jason Campos is going to gift his dad one of the possible 1-2s that could have happened today. And it's going to be 1 and 3 for the Campos boys. And Jeff Kruger splitting the two of them into that top 3 for GTC Super Cup. Variawa hung on for 4th. It's Brad Liebenberg in 5th, maintaining his lead in the championship ahead of Jonathan Mccarthy. As we wrap things up for the penultimate round of the Global Touring Cars. Michael van Rooyen ahead of Robert Volk, Temple, Thompson, Van der Watt and Mandla Nakani, the 6 cars in GTC. That's how they finished up at the end of the race day. Jason Campos beating out Jeff Kruger and Keegan Campos. Saud Variawa just behind them. And then it was Brad Liebenberg and Jonathan Mccarthy. Donnie van Niekerk. Johan de Bruin wins out the Masters, beating Davy Jabert. And then it was Nick Davidson and Sam Hammond ahead of Stefan Schneiders. I think might have just got through there on under Mercedes note in the closing stages. So that's how we wrap things up here for the penultimate round of Global Touring Cars and the GTC Super Cup. They will make their way to Kyalami for the final round on the 3rd and 4th of December at the Kyalami 9 Hour, when the SRO return with the Intercontinental GT Championship at Kyalami.